Here we have a pre-war Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost engine. This is on the line bore. It's just been line bored and the crankshaft put back into it to test it for rotation and thrust before it comes out of the line bore. This way, if there's any idiosyncrasies or defects with the thrust or with radiuses or anything, we haven't moved the engine in its setup before we test out the crankshaft. So this is a very unusual engine. This is a pre-war 1915, and it's one of a very small number of Silver Ghosts with a counterbalanced crankshaft on it. You can see these giant bronze weights are on the end of each throw. These were commonly used in armored car engines where they massively increased the torque by putting a lot more spun weight onto the crankshaft versus just the flywheel. What we're going to do right now is test the crankshaft for end thrust. We have an indicator set up, and by taking a bar and moving the crankshaft back and forth very slightly, we'll be able to see the end thrust, which we want to have as a minimum of about 1.5 to 2 thousand and a maximum of about 5 thousandths. This supports the crankshaft when the clutch is pushed. That way we know that the crankshaft isn't moving too far forward. And here you see a dial indicator which gives us a little bit over 2 thousandths of end thrust on the crankshaft. The indicator is set right on the nose. As the crankshaft moves back and forth, that indicator shows the thrust. The thrust is supported on these engines at number 7. There are flanges that you can see. The bright silver line there is the babbitt, and over on this side again you can see the thrust face. Now what we want to do is demonstrate that the crankshaft spins freely in its bearings. There should be no binding whatsoever. As you can see, it moves basically on its own after it's let go. No binding and just a perfect spin. The rattling that you hear are the pins for the crank bungs. These hold the bungs in place. When you do a Silver Ghost engine, those bungs are left in place because you can't remove them from the crankshaft.